Professor Goldstein is on the air again. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope everybody is good today, or good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever day you are, or whatever time it is, asynchronously out there in the Kingsborough universe. I hope you're all doing well. Let's get some business done first. And I sent out emails to all of you. You should have received them. The emails require that you send me back an email at michael.goldstein@kbcc.cuny.edu. Goldstein is spelled Goldstein. Michael is spelled Michael. Goldstein. Send me an email with your correct spelling of your name. If you do not send me that email, first of all, it is your first assignment. Second of all, more importantly, I will have to drop you from the class. You will not be allowed back in the class. As much as you beg me and plead with me, and they do this every semester, I need to verify your attendance. It's called VOA, Verification of Attendance. I need to verify that you are out there watching me, responding to me, listening to my brilliance every single day. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if you respond to me via email and I know that you're alive. So if you don't do that, I mark you down as never having attended a class. And after a week, so get this in quick, if you have not attended my class, I will have to mark you down and send it to the office of the registrar, and they will drop you from the class, and then you will be out. You won't have lost any money, but you'll be out of the class, and you won't be able to get the credit. So please, I have 27 students in the class. I think only 6 of you have responded by email so far. Make sure that I receive your emails. I'm going to send you each back an email saying that I received your email so that you know that I received your email. So every time you send, I haven't done that yet, so I'll give you another day. Today's Monday. I will give you till tomorrow, Tuesday. Today's Monday, the March 9th. Please get me that response back as soon as possible. Now, that's business. Okay, second part of business is I have to get your syllabus up on your Brightspace immediately. So I will get that up by the end of the week. I'm still working on it, tinkering it, playing with it again. I do it every year. I really should just leave the syllabus the way it is, but I'm one of those people that's never satisfied with the way it looks, and things are always changing. So I will have your syllabus up. Basically, everything you do during the semester, there's no tests in this class. Basically, it's going to be 2 small papers, one at the end of the semester, one in the middle of the semester. Both of them kind of account for what I've been talking about here in class, when I'm talking. And these videos will not be long. They will not be boring, I promise you. Everything I say will be of interest to you. No, I'm just kidding. I can't promise you that. That's BS. But I will promise you that I'll try to make them as brief as possible. I will not make them long. I'll try not to drag on too long I sometimes do that with stories and things like that. And that's why this morning I want to start off with a story about business and about you. Basically, I've had 30-something years of business students in my classes, and a lot of them have done very well in their lives. Some of them still keep in touch with me. Some of them want to let me know what's going on and what they learned from me. And some of them, I never hear from them again. Many of them I never hear from again, but that's okay. So the ones that I do hear from sometimes, I want to share with you some success stories and so forth. Last year, not last semester, I had a student who wanted to go on to business school, leave Kingsborough. He didn't graduate Kingsborough, but he left, midway, and he did very well in my class, and I knew he was a very bright student. And I wrote a letter of recommendation for him, and he got into NYU, and he's going to NYU now, and he's going to business school. That's just like one small little success that I have. And that could be you too. You can go to any college you want from Kingsborough. You can go anywhere you want. It could be Brooklyn College, it could be Baruch, it could be Harvard, it could be Yale. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do after you leave Kingsborough, you can do. Hopefully what I can give you, and I look forward to giving you, is some basic fundamentals of business that will help you when you move on to your next area, whatever college you choose to go to. I mean, this is a batch. You get your associates at Kingsborough, or you could get your associates while leaving Kingsborough and come back and get your associates by getting the credits at another college and still get your associate's degree and then get a bachelor's degree and hopefully a master's and so on. But I want to talk to you about some business success. And business success doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be extraordinarily wealthy. Business success could be a small business, which is what we'll talk about today, which is sole proprietorships, which is the word sole proprietorship. What does it mean? It means you own your own business. One person owns their own business. It's very simple. So I had a student in the 1990s, yeah, this goes back, who sat, in a classroom at Kingsborough. There was no computers in those days, and it wasn't asynchronous. He went on to the College of Staten Island afterwards and graduated. And I kept in touch with him, and he was very bright. I could tell. Listen, I could tell when someone's got it and someone hasn't got it, and this person had it. He was very active, and he wanted to be a businessman. He loved business. He thought about business all the time. That doesn't mean this business class is for everybody who thinks about business all the time. You could be a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, a cop, a fireman, work for transit, work in sanitation, and still do this business class and get something out of it. But this guy thought about business all the time, and he went on very successfully to create his first business, which if I give you the name of it, it doesn't really matter. But his name was Jeff. This kid's name was Jeff, and he was a kid then. Now he's not a kid anymore. And he went on to make quite a sum of money with that first business, which was an internet business when the internet was first starting out. And then that business he had a lot of what are called investors, virtual investors, investors in his company. He was able to successfully grow the company and even expand it to the point where he was doing commercials during the Super Bowl. And the business was making him millions and millions and millions of dollars. He eventually sold the business to those investors and then started investing in other things, real estate, mixed martial art fighting. He opened up his own mixed martial art fighting company. He bought hotels in Costa Rica and all different types of things. And then he married a woman, and they started a company together, a hair care company together, which has become, it's pretty much in every Walmart, in every Walgreens, in every CVS. It's like different types of shampoos and different types of hair conditioners, and it became a huge success. This company, it's really his wife who was a beautician, started off as just a beautician, and then came up with this, and he became the president of the company, and the company has expanded and expanded and expanded, and has become one of the largest hair care companies in the United States. And listen, don't want to talk too much about the other side, but the other side is, lives in a mega mansion in Florida on his own, on an island. He has a super huge yacht. He flies around in his own private jet around the world with his wife and his kids. And he's what I consider, an ultra business success story. Now, do I account for any of his success? No, I really don't. I mean, the guy already had the drive and the energy to do well in business. I just encouraged him and pointed him, I think, in some directions that I think may have been helpful. But no, I really can't take credit. I wish I could take credit. I wish I could get some money. But he's done extraordinarily well. And why do I tell you about that? Because, not to bore you, not to make you, but that any one of you can do what this guy did. I mean, it really is not, it's hard. It's hard work. It's lucky. It's being lucky. It's being in the right place at the right time. It's having the right idea. It's having the drive, the energy, the business savvy. But he was Brooklyn. He grew up in Canarsie. He went to South Shore High School. He went to Kingsborough. He was not a superstar academically at all. When I say he was a great student, it wasn't he was a great student academically. He was not smart, school-wise. He was smart business-wise, street-wise. And that's really what I try to get out of you guys in this class this semester, is I want you guys to kind of understand that I'm going to give you the tools to do well. Businessmen don't necessarily, I mean, don't tell me I'm going to get fired for this, but you don't have to go to college to be a businessman. A lot of great businessmen didn't go to college. It helps. The language of business is accounting. Everything you learn in business school will help you in your business, but you don't have to do that. I mean, you could start your own business. I know people who started their own businesses when they were 12, 15, 16 years old, and they failed, and they succeeded, and they failed again, and they succeeded again, and they were able to build up those businesses and create new businesses, new ideas, and they never went to college. They just learned as they went. I mean, they went to the College of Hard Knocks, which is the business world. So my introduction to business to you is, you start here at Kingsborough, you can go anywhere. You can do anything. Basically, what you have is you have your own fortitude, your own work ethic, your own sense of business that you're going to get. Hopefully from my Fundamentals of Business class, you'll get some ideas about businesses and thoughts. You could come up with anything. There's always, listen, businesses are not just created in a vacuum. And one of the things I'll talk about in the class over and over again this semester, I'm going to talk about a lot of things. I'm going to talk about investing. I'm going to talk about retirement planning. I'm going to talk about different types of businesses. But one of the things I really like to stress in this class is that you can come up with an idea on your own, or you could base an idea on something that already exists. But you look for areas that don't necessarily exist, or that you could do better at, and make them a better product or a better idea. And those ideas are the ones that are like gold. They're like, when you're panning for gold in a stream and you pick out that little piece of gold flake. That's what that is. That idea becomes gold. So like with his hair care product business, it wasn't necessarily that he created hair care products. Hair care products existed. What he did was he created his wife, came up with a hair care product that was really useful to salon owners, that really untangled your hair and did it successfully. And she experimented with different chemicals and different things and different processes, and eventually she came up with a product that she thought was good. But then, okay, you got a great product. What are you going to do with it? Well, she failed a couple of times. I mean, she literally failed, and he failed a couple of times introducing the product. They made a lot of mistakes. Luckily, they were able to rebound from those mistakes and succeed eventually, but it was not instant success. There were trial, failure, and also a lot of it had to do with the marketing of it. How do you get it out there? What makes your product look different, smell different, taste different? Whatever it is that you're doing, what is it that you're doing that makes it different? If you own a restaurant, what makes your restaurant different? If you own a certain type of child care company or healthcare company, or if you're a law firm, what makes you stand out? What is it that marketing makes you stand out and that people want to come to you? What is the word that gets out about you that makes people want to purchase your items? So these are the types of things that this person was very good at. And he was a hustler. I use the word in the positive sense, not the negative sense. He didn't hustle to steal things from you. He hustled to make money with a product that was a successful product. But he was not going to let that product, not get out there and not succeed. So, it literally means knocking on doors and going into salons and beauty parlors and giving them free products and having them try your products and begging them to take orders from you afterwards. Did you try it? Did you like it? Please, try it. You got to go in there. You got to be a salesman. You got to be a marketer. You got to be a manufacturer. You have to be all these things in order to be a successful business person. So that's what you have. So I turn it around again. It's what most of my Kingsborough students have. I think most of my Kingsborough students over the years, some of them utilize it. Some of them just never tap into it. And while you're young right now, and most of you are hopefully, you know, still relatively young, and energetic and haven't really decided necessarily what you want to do in your life. By the way, even if you have decided, business will still help you, no matter what you've decided to do in your lifetime. But the the drive, the energy that you have when you're young, the creativity that you have when you're young, it doesn't necessarily last a full lifetime. Sometimes you get older and that drive and energy and creativity kind of, it doesn't necessarily die, it just kind of slows down a bit. So what I say to you now is this is the time. This is the time to try new things. This is the time to fail, to do new things and fail at those new things. And you have what it takes. Look, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Oh, here it is. Lucia. It's over here. I can't even see. The local pizza place that started out here in our neighborhood in Brooklyn, right by Kingsborough. It's on Avenue X. Actually started out as a pizza place in Manhattan Beach, right by Kingsborough. It was his parents' pizza place, and then he went away for a while, I think, to Europe, and then came back. His parents were ill. His father was ill, and it was called Papa Leone's. It was right on the corner, all the way down at the end of Manhattan Beach from Kingsborough. And so the son started a pizza place a couple of years back, I think pre-COVID, and it was on Avenue X, and he's a Kingsborough grad. That's why I'm not in my class, so I can't take credit. But I know people who had him in their classes. And started this pizza place, and the pizza place did well. It did well, but it's in Brooklyn. It's in Brooklyn. It's South Brooklyn. It's not really in North Brooklyn. It's, by us. It was Avenue X. Good pizza. Excellent pizza. And he took the pizza place and he started opening up places in Manhattan. He got funders to help him, and he was able to open up one place on West Broadway, and he opened up one on the Upper East Side, and his business has taken off. It's like one of the top pizza places in New York City, and he's making a fortune. I'll give you an idea. There's a pizza place that's right by my business, and I'll talk about my business one day, that sells, because I speak to the owners all the time, and it's a pizza place out here in New Jersey where I live, that sells between 500 and 800 pizzas a day. Right? This is a regular pizza place, good pizza, excellent pizza, sells between 500 and 800 pies a day. Plus it sells all sorts of other food, sandwiches and regular meals, and has a dining room. But it sells between 500 to 800 pies a day. On average, I would say the pies are about $35 a pie. Maybe $40 a pie. $35, $40. They're high end. Good pizza, good quality ingredients. If you figure that out, that comes to somewhere gross between $7 to $8 million a year. I mean, pretty much that's what they're making. So the pizza place is, and I don't know how much of it is cash and how much of it is debit and credit card, but they're making, or accounts that they have. But pretty much they're making between $7 and $8 million a year gross. Profit wise, who knows? Maybe like $4 million. On one single small pizza place. I know what their rent is, basically. I think their rent they're paying is about $10,000 a month for the pizza place. They have a number of employees. Obviously they have to pay for ingredients, insurance, all the other things that go along with owning your own business, a mom and pop business, what I call a brick and mortar business, which means that it's a small business that you rent or own. But they're making millions of dollars a year. The average salary of a New York City school teacher, I think, is, $80,000 a year now. The average salary of a cop, starting salary, 40,000, 35, 40,000, quickly goes up to like 65, 70,000, 80,000. But, you're never going to get rich. You'll never really get rich. But here is a guy who is an immigrant to our country. He owns the pizza place. Immigrant, first generation, came to this country, did not speak the language, opened up his own pizza place. He has one in Brooklyn. He has one here in New Jersey. but this one here in New Jersey is extraordinarily successful. And he's making, as a sole proprietor, he owns it, but he has, kids that work there. His sons work there. He's making over $4 million a year. Profit, salary, profit, whatever he's making. And I say to you, that could be you. In any business, that could be you. Now, you could fail. His pizza place could fail. Something could happen. There was actually a problem that happened one time with his business play. I'll go into it quickly because I want to end the video here. I don't want to go too much and bore you. But one of the people that came into his store, there was an incident where, I'll be honest with you. So what happened was this kid who was working in his store, for some reason wrote pig on a pizza pie that he gave to a cop. And the reason he wrote pig, according to what they said, which was probably true, which was that it was a sausage pie. And so the sausage is made out of pig. And so he put pig, meaning that so they could identify the type of pizza it was. The cop, not knowing that, took it as offensive that this kid put the word pig on his pie. And all of a sudden there was a huge blowback from the community against this pizza place, especially from the police and those that support the police. And they stopped going to this pizza place, and the pizza place had a really tough time. And for a long time, they were still fighting that perception that they were anti-cop. And it affected their business greatly. So those types of things happen all the time with businesses. All kinds of weird things that aren't really accounted for that will happen to a business. I mean, I remember years ago when, it was Chipotle, when there was, they had, somebody took a video of, I guess a rat running across the back of a Chipotle, and it became viral and went out there, and their business really was affected. It affected their stocks. It affected, everyone, I'm not going to eat at Chipotle. They have rats in their food, it's the food attracts rats. So you got to be very, very vigilant in terms of, you work hard for your business, and your business is very important to you, but things happen to your business that you don't necessarily account for. We'll talk about that later. I'm going to close this today. I'll put up another video on Wednesday. I do want to say, again, please get me those emails with your verification of attendance to michael.goldstein@kbcc.cuny.edu. michael.goldstein@kbcc.cuny.edu. That's my email address. Just put your name in the body of the email, how it's correctly spelled, so that when I actually have to do your grades and all your other things, that I have the correct spelling of your name. Because sometimes the registrar, when they do your listing of names, sometimes the names are misspelled, or they're not the correct names, or they're not the names you'd like to be called, or the names that you go under. So whatever, give me your correct, how you want to be referred to, the correct name that you have, that I could respond to you, and so forth. So that's it for today. Welcome to this class. I know you probably didn't get a lot, except maybe a little bit of idea today. I'll talk more on Wednesday about what the class is going to be all about, what the projects are, and so forth. And then hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have your syllabus up, and we can get started to a great semester, a great spring semester. It's going to go by like that. All right, have a great day.